Lockhart Perspective.
Well, it would appear that President Joe Biden says that we just may not have a recession. Every 6 months, they say this, he says. Every 6 months, they look down the next 6 months and they say what's going to happen. Biden said in an interview with Jake Tapper on CNN that was aired today, Tuesday, which was for now yesterday, referring to the recent economic projections by major U.S. banks. He says, quote, "It hadn't happened yet. It hadn't. I don't think there'll be a recession. And if it is, it'll be a very slight recession. That is, we'll move down slightly." Close quote. JP Morgan Chase CEO Ronnie.d.Mann on Monday warned of the likelihood of a recession in the next 6 to 9 months. These people are all delusional. I just paid $14 for a tray of chicken wings. You know, the family size, 14 bucks. Chicken wings, we used to maybe able to spend maybe like $6, $5.50 on a big tray. Now they're 14.50, 52, round that up, 15 bucks. So now, in an interview with CNBC, DeMond warned of a very, very serious mix of headwinds, which could tip both the United States and the global economy into a recession by the middle of next year. With the way things look, and this is the Lockhart perspective, with the way things look, by then it'll be a complete crash. Let's continue. The concerns comes as the Federal Reserve continues to raise the interest rates aggressively in an effort to reduce inflation. In September, the United States Central Bank raised benchmark interest rates by 3/4 of a percentage point. It was the Fed's third consecutive hike. Biden did not fully discount the odds of a recession, but told CNN the odds were very low. He says, quote, "It's possible. I don't anticipate it, though." Closed quote. The president acknowledged the United States has real problems, but credited legislation passed under his administration, like the Inflation Reduction Act, with putting the United States in a better position than any other major country in the world economically and politically. Wow. Meanwhile, here's another little story for you. How about this? Since we're not in any recession, and since that means that everybody should have food abounding, there should be enough food for everybody, there should be enough everything for everyone, the Pentagon tells struggling Army soldiers and families to apply for food stamps. The Pentagon is recommending U.S. soldiers struggling with soaring food prices to apply for welfare in a move that underscores both low military pay and the economic headwinds facing the nation as a whole. The recommendation came last month from Sergeant Major of the Army Michael Gridston, and it directs the Army soldiers and their families to apply for food stamps through the Federal Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, better known as SNAP. Quote, "With inflation affecting everything from gas prices to groceries to rents, some soldiers and their families are finding it harder to get on the budgets that they've set and used before." Now, this written guidance from Gridston reads, quote, "SNAP is a U.S. government program that provides benefits to eligible low-income individuals and families via an electronic benefits transfer card that can be used like a debit card to purchase eligible food in authorized retail stores. Service members and their families may be eligible." The official guidance includes other lending and financial counseling programs available to soldiers and lists contact information to help them enroll in SNAP. Although the Biden administration and much of the media insist the United States is not in a recession, the nation has experienced negative GDP growth in each of the last 2 quarters, meeting the traditional definition for a recession. In addition, inflation is running at nearly double digits percentage, and food prices in particular have risen at the fastest rate in decades. Mackenzie Egland is a resident fellow at the American Enterprise Institute who studies defense budgets and military readiness and said nearly a quarter of the enlisted men and women can't afford to put food on the table. Quote, what they need is more money. The Defense Department's flat footed response to inflation will result in a real and cumulative pay cut for service members. Close quote. England said that the Pentagon received more federal funding from Congress than it had requested, but ignored inflation concerns and shortchanged the men and women who serve. Now, she notes, quote, Congress will have to appropriate even more to save America's troops from the Defense Department's negligence. It's the only way to get troops and their families the financial lifeline that they need. Now, here is the base pay for the lowest ranking Army private. It's $21,999.60, according to GoArmy.com. The salaries for enlisted men and women are lower. Are lower. Enlisted men and women, the lower ranks rise gradually through promotions. Okay. That is what happens. They get a promotion, and as they get the promotion, they get a little bit more money. And it goes on to say that, but not always by years of service alone. So just because you've been in the military for a long amount of time does not mean that you're going to get said raise. So, Mr. Biden, I want to ask you, no shame. Are we in a recession? When your Pentagon is telling the enlisted men, since you are the commander in chief, are we in a recession? Why are the military people, why are all the enlisted men and women that don't make enough money being told, hey, take cover, go get SNAP in a hurry, if we're not in a recession? For Headlines with a Voice, the Lockhart Perspective. Thank you guys for tuning in.
The Lockhart Perspective.